We are the largest financier in the East African region. We've got a balance sheet size of about $16 billion.
Wow.
So that means, if you put it in Ugandan context, that we are larger than the largest bank in Uganda, an example. So that gives us very good leverage in terms of how we support the oil and gas sector.
Yes.
Because if we all, based on some of the contracts that we've seen, looking at just even ECOP on its own, a $5 billion project.
Yes.
So everything that trickles down, you know that these are not small contracts.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on Everything Energy and Extractives. My name is Emmanuel Mutsinzi with Aldelia as a business development executive, and I'm pleased to be presenting this special episode on behalf of Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals. And I have a very interesting person with me today. Her name is Madame Ramla Nantongo, but we are going to get an opportunity to know her a little bit more about what she does, where she's coming from, and what she enjoys to do in her free time. You are very welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much. My name is Ramla Nantongo Munyakazi. I am a banker by profession, but before being a banker, I guess I'm a mom of two amazing children, a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. Outside that, yes, I've been in the industry for, oh my goodness, I think it's coming to 20 years now.
Wow.
And largely in, the relationship management space, the corporate business space,
Yeah.
and now in the regional space as well under KCB.
Amazing. And what do you do as a relationship person?
So basically, relationship management looks at, when someone comes into a financial institution,
Yes.
there's someone who basically takes care of you, who gets to understand your business
Yes.
through your eyes and gets to structure solutions that are aligned to your business.
Makes sense.
So that is largely my background and, slowly grown through the ranks. And now I take care of our customers that cut across the different regions.
Makes sense.
So as KCB Bank, KCB Group, we are in 7 countries. So the role that I play now is to make sure that if we have an entity based in Uganda,
Yeah.
but has presence in Kenya, in South Sudan, in Tanzania, we are able to handle them as a single entity, as opposed to them walking into Tanzania and then looked at as a stranger, but being able to provide a solution that basically cuts across.
Makes sense. That is lovely work. And aside from your office duties, what do you enjoy to do as a person in your free time?
In my free time, I am a soccer mom. So Saturdays are largely soccer days, with my son. My daughter is a swimmer. So what would you call it? A sports mom.
Nice.
Trying to get in there. But, outside that, I also do quite a bit with my local church. Very much involved in, spreading the gospel.
Yes, amazing. That's lovely work. And I hope your son is an Arsenal fan.
Not at all.
Oh, please tell him he needs to rethink his decision.
Not at all. He's a big-time Man U fan who tells his friends that by the age of 16,
Yes.
they will not be with him because he'll be in the league.
Amazing. Thank you for the amazing work you're doing with him and your daughter as well. So back to business. We would like to understand, how does KCB Bank Group view its role in the oil and gas sector value chain across the region?
Yes.
And what priorities are shaping its approach to this sector?
Yeah. Thanks for that. So KCB Group, first, if I just start with a bit of background for those that might not know the group, we are the largest financier in the East African region. We've got a balance sheet size of about $16 billion.
Wow.
So that means, if you put it in Ugandan context, that we are larger than the largest bank in Uganda, an example. So that gives us very good leverage in terms of how we support the oil and gas sector.
Yes.
Because based on some of the contracts that we've seen, looking at just even ECOP on its own, a $5 billion project.
Yes.
So everything that trickles down, that these are not small contracts. So we've positioned ourselves, number one, from a balance sheet perspective, is that we're able to handle those very large ticket sizes, but not just on our own. We do have an entity, KCB Investment Banking, which also helps in terms of supporting some of the players to be able to raise, capital, different types of capital. Now, in terms of what we've done in this space, so even before the upstream conversation came in, we've been very big in supporting, one, the midstream, but as well as the downstream. Okay, so in Kenya, we've raised expertise in what is called the government to government, what we call G2G.
Yes.
So before UNOC was a single source supplier for Uganda, all our fuel used to come through Kenya.
Yes.
So, and our OMCs here basically used to get it through that program, the G2G. So as KCB Kenya, we were funding that program, and to date, we've been able to provide letters of credit to a tune of over $10 billion. Okay? So that expertise we have carried on into our different markets. In the Ugandan context, when UNOC came into play, again, having that at the back of our minds, very quickly we put products in place that were able to support the oil marketers to be able to, have the necessary working capital to be able to, get in those supplies. But of course, there's the tax component as well. And we know collateral was such a big issue, so we funded that. I think on the upstream, another plus, KCB Uganda was among the few banks, because most people didn't understand, this space. We're very used to the traditional lending, and the size of contracts, as I mentioned earlier, is quite big. So if someone is running a contract of, $50 million, you don't expect them to have collateral, for that. So we came in quite early, supported, I think, some of the local content providers, and were able to structure around the contracts that they had. So it was a good learning point for us as a bank, for our staff, but also even our customers, to be able to take them through the nitty-gritties of the contracts. You have to be able to look out for this. You have to be able to understand that these contracts have penalties for, certain areas, the importance of ESG, the importance of the health and safety. So over the years, we've been able to get quite a bit of expertise in that area. Yeah. So I think as a group, the way we are positioned, number one, from a balance sheet perspective, that we are able to fund those really large projects. Number two, from a value chain, being able to cut across the different borders. Not only do we support the payments, but also follow our customers into the different markets. And we're also doing this from a digital front. Quite a number of partnerships from a fintech space. Yes. If you've been following, KCB owns about 25% in a fintech called PesaPal. Yes. And that they do have a product that goes into the OMC space, which is called the forecourt management system, that basically helps these OMCs be able to track what are the supplies that got in, how much have I been able to sell. And that's a value add for us. It's not something that we charge. But it's good in a sense that if we had to fund that particular OMC, we're able to see that movement of product, and it helps us as a funder to be able to study the cash flow and be able to support the OMC.
That is lovely. And with the focus on optimal government take and transparency, how can KCB Uganda bridge the gap between large-scale oil investments and financing for local enterprises seeking to enter the sector, and those already in the sector?
And first of all, I think it's such a transformational stage that we're at as a country. I happen to have made a trip all the way to Tanga, and I kept, when I was taking pictures, I kept texting and telling the naysayers, because before, people thought this thing was a myth. But here we are, Uganda, who thought that by, July 2026, we're going to be exporters. So first of all, just, huge congratulations to our government, the government of TZ, and all the other stakeholders that have been playing part. Now, for the people that are entering into the market. Not that it's late, but I think it is late. And I, because there was a late start for a lot of people to come in at the start, again, because of the doubt, because of the lack of understanding. And of course, yes, one of the key issues is that even where there are those that have the expertise, key issue is the funding side, the availability of capital, what cost is that capital coming at? And of course, there's the compliance side of things, because like I say, this is not a space where you let something, drop. Timelines and milestones are extremely important and critical. So one of the things we've done is then be able to come up with specific products. So now if I look at the operational phase that we are going into, a lot of these are going to be, maintenance contracts, the logistical side.
Yes.
So we've moved away from, of course, that traditional lending with definitely structure around the contract. We have a full understanding of number one, how long is this contract? Number two, what are the specific milestones of this contract? When do the payments get made? Because also that's extremely important. Sometimes you structure something that's monthly, but they're going to be paid maybe every 3 months. Okay? So structuring around specific contracts, a very good understanding of the contract itself, how it's meant to run, then to be able to come up with the right structures. I mean, some of the things we've done is contract financing, the invoice discounting, because payment is not immediate. You provide the service, and then you get paid after a specific period of time. But the working capital in the business must continue.
True.
So we've basically designed that full package that is able to support those particular players that might be coming in.
Yes.
Those that are already in, we've done quite a bit of work there. Like I said, it's also helped us to have capacity building within our own teams to sort of realign ourselves from the lending before, which was very much securitized, to project financing. So that I'm coming with a specific project, and this is what we are going to be able to deal with.
Makes sense.
Get to understand fully how it's going to operate, who are the particular stakeholders involved, and then structure basically around that.
Amazing. And please, of course, send our appreciation and gratitude to KCB for being partners for this year's Oil and Gas Convention. And last but not least, quickly to ask, what would you regard as KCB Group's milestones in your partnership with the Chamber or with the work that you're doing in the oil and gas sector? What are some of those few milestones you look at and really, really celebrate as a group?
Yeah. Thanks a lot for that. So if I look at Uganda specifically, and the partnership that we've had with the Chamber, we've been attending these, conferences for such a long time. And I was just telling one of my colleagues today that, look, this is a very important one because I believe it's the last one until first oil.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is major. And having seen where we came from to where we are today, miles, we've really got, miles and leaps and bounds. And so one of the key milestones I would speak to is, number one, some of the local content that came in at the very start after FID, the ones that actually got contracts with the key players, the Total and Sinok, we were present to be able to finance those. We were present at the groundbreaking, I recall, of the Kingfisher. So seeing where it is today and being ready to produce oil by July, that's a major milestone for us. The other, again, many shied away from being able to participate, in the upstream. But we've supported that entire line. So again, those are key milestones for us. The other, I would say, for who's one of the key participants in this space, that when they got in with the single sourcing, again, we're also able to move quickly to come up with products to support the local oil marketing companies to be able to have the sufficient working capital for that, as well as the tax. So again, I think that was another milestone for us as KCB Uganda.
Yes, that is lovely. And thank you very much for sharing with us. And I can't help but ask, the average trader in the city would probably be able to raise, not everyone, but an average good businessman, 100 million Ugandan shillings. Are there any products that you've set up that a person who can afford that, not in the millions of dollars,
Yes.
Are there any products that can help them be part of this next level of the oil and gas sector?
Yes, definitely. So, I mean, we've been very big as well on the entire ecosystem. So not just looking at the larger corporate, but trickling down. Who are their suppliers?
Yes.
Who is it that is providing them the grassroots, right? So yes, SME is also we are passionate about that space as well. And we've gone as far as having specific products that
Yes.
fit into that space, but also going digital, so that someone who is out there in a certain district, maybe they are providing the tomatoes to the guy who is
Yes.
providing food to one of the camps.
Sure.
They can be able to access funding through our digital channels. We do have a running partnership with MTN, the Mopesa, but also internally we do have a mobile loan. So that's something that someone can be able to access as well in terms of digital loan, and it's immediate based on your transactions over your phone.
Transaction history,
which is what a lot of our SMEs today, that's how they're transacting. They've gone away from the traditional banking
Yes.
to using their phones. So we study that pattern, be able to set you a limit and provide funding.
Excellent. And what would be your parting shots in less than a minute to viewers out there for today?
Yeah. The oil is coming.
Finally here.
The oil is finally here. And, I think let's look out for the opportunities because they are there. We're not switching our economy to an oil economy, but oil is going to enable so many other industries to be able to thrive. So don't sit back. There's something for everyone to do to take part in this particular space.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ramla Nantongo, thank you very much for joining us today. I am Mutsinzi Emmanuel, and thank you once again for being with us. Till next time, God bless you.
Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals for a sustainable future.